Hello, guys, and welcome back to the Holistic Travel Therapy Podcast. I'm your host, Courtney Condon, occupational therapist.
And I'm John Wilson, physical therapist.
This week, we are coming to you guys with an episode that is really close to our hearts and our lifestyle right now. It's about how to stay healthy while on vacation, finding that balance. We have had an amazing 6 months over here in Phoenix, Arizona, and we have been in the process of finding our next travel contract. And I'll be honest when I say it comes with some stressors, and
Definitely.
we have just been kind of looking back on everything that we have been able to do and accomplish over here on the West Coast. So we thought we'd kind of take a little bit of a different approach for this week's episode. Still come to you guys with lots of science backed information on how to live healthy, happier lives, but also kind of tell you about some of the trips we've taken, some of the things we've implemented during these trips to enjoy these places to the fullest, but also keep in mind our health, our mental health, our overall wellness. And I think that finding that balance is so important because, like we said, we want to do these things. We want to be on the road. We want to be traveling and finding cool new places. But it could also come with some negative side effects of, too much drinking, not enough sleeping, eating poorly. So we want to come to you guys with some of that information this week.
Yeah, traveling is tough. A lot of people, whether you like traveling, you don't like traveling, it can bring you a lot of joy. You can go see places that you've never seen before, whether it's out of the country or just out of the state, even in state. If you're going on a vacation and you're staying somewhere else for a week, a weekend, whatever the case may be, the risk of getting sick is definitely increased. So we kind of wanted to just talk about our experience with the traveling, but also definitely bring in the health side of it because um, vacations before, I mean, I feel like a lot of the vacations I went on when I came home, I was definitely not feeling good.
Right. Yeah. You tend to just kind of like are in this hyper arousal state on vacation. You're doing a lot of things that maybe negatively impact your immune system. You get back to regular life, you're run down, and it's so much easier to catch a cold or,
Yeah.
feel sick.
Yeah, so that's why I would say tip number one is don't do too much. So um, whether you're on vacation or just doing some kind of traveling somewhere, still take that time out of the day to kind of just calm down and get that parasympathetic rest. So that's something that we do sometimes, whether it's just some stretching or some yoga or that deep breathing that we've talked about before, just taking that like 15 to 20 minutes throughout the day to kind of like do the deep breathing and kind of calm down and recenter yourself so then you can go on to the next attraction or excursion, whatever you're going to do. It's very important to kind of let your body relax for a minute so that you're not overstimulated for 3 4 days and then you come home and then your immune system is just shot.
Right. So finding a way to balance that is so important. And understanding that taking rest, as John mentioned, could mean different things and finding ways within your fun, exciting travel itinerary to take that rest. For example, when we went to Vegas, we found ways to kind of make sure that we were winding down a little bit earlier. We were trying to do a fun task and then maybe come back to the hotel or do an activity that allowed us to take a little bit of mental and physical recovery. It's hard. You're in a place like that, the city of lights. You want to go 24/7, but the downsides of that afterwards, it's so much easier just to give yourself a little bit of rest time in between.
Yeah, so we'll talk about Las Vegas since you brought that up. So Las Vegas is our fourth ranked city that we've been to out west. We're gonna do our top four cities that we've been to. Vegas was great. When people think about Vegas, they think about partying, they think about gambling, they think about going out, staying up all night, city that never sleeps.
Right, exactly.
We did it a little bit different. We definitely went and had a great time. But we, like Courtney said, we wound down a little bit. We we're able to kind of still keep our sleep cycle, even though we were up a little bit later than probably we wanted to be. Some nights we were still able to get that 7 8 hours of sleep and wake up the next day feeling good, able to explore and see everything
Right.
that Vegas has to offer.
Exactly. I think we did just as much, as not more, than your probably typical Vegas trip for, late 20s, early 30s, because we had that balance. We found those activities that were fun, were on the top things to do in Vegas, and we paired them with a little bit more restorative downtime. I think that finding something that brings you joy is obviously so important. So if your number one thing to do is go to a Vegas nightclub, by all means, try to find time to do that. However, what can you arrange or pair? I think one of my favorite things we did in Vegas was we went to this place called Stadium Swim. It was kind of like your sports book meets Vegas pool party, except we went kind of in not the most pool party-ish time. So it was really a great opportunity to sit, relax, watch some sports, enjoy time outside. I mean, it literally checked all of my boxes as a fun yet restorative thing to do. It was great.
Yeah, yeah. For any sports fans out there or any fans of just, going to the pool and having a good time, Stadium Swim was great. Got the TVs everywhere. It's
So
like
many TVs.
on the kind of like the roof, kind of like upper at the Circa, I believe, and so many TVs with all the games. We went there on a Sunday, so we got to see the NFL, so that was amazing. Stadium Swim was great. Another place to check out would be Area 51. So that was where
So
we
cool,
went the
yeah.
first night, and it was just, how do I even describe it? It was just a lot of weird
I know. I call
attractions.
it like dystopian
Yeah,
grocery store. Like you started off kind of like a grocery store, and then you'd like open the cooler and you would walk into it, and it would take you into like a whole nother realm,
whole different world.
like a whole different world. And you just kind of kept going like through these different hidden doors
And
and
there was like
passageways.
clues nearby that you could like solve a case or something. Way too much into it to actually do it and solve whatever case there was. There was phones everywhere going off. There was
Right.
people trying to figure out the mystery. But such a fun time, and there was a bunch of attractions at Area 51 that you can do.
Exactly. And it was a great way to do something where you are walking, you're adventuring, you're kind of bringing in that childlike nature of exploring and trying to solve things and trying to find all the
Crawling on the
secret.
ground and crawling
Yeah,
up ropes and stuff, so much fun.
yeah, it was so much fun. So definitely check out those two attractions if you are in Vegas.
Boy, I gotta say the one more with what's the one with the street that we went on, Fremont.
Oh, Fremont
Yeah,
Street. Yeah.
Fremont. That's the third attraction in Vegas. If you want to see something super cool, I think that was my personal favorite, just because it was an entire street of miles long, where it basically like was outside, but the top of the street was like a roof and it was just a screen. So basically, like you could be in outer space or I don't even know, whatever's at the top of the screen, but it was so cool to see.
Yes, it was awesome. So, coming up on our number two things to do while on vacation to find that balance is going to be finding some movement. So, whether you are walking on the beach, going for a hike, taking a bike ride, or maybe going kayaking, there are so many ways to find movement during your vacations. We understand that a lot of people want to go on vacations to rest and relax, and we're not taking away from that. That is by far probably one of the most beneficial things you can do for yourself. However, if you're resting and relaxing and enjoying so many Bahama Mamas and chicken nuggets and French fries, you're again kind of the bad is starting to outweigh the good a little bit. So finding ways to get in enjoyable movement is going to be so important. You are increasing blood flow, you are producing those feel good neurotransmitters and happy hormones. You are, you know, getting outside usually, getting some fresh air, sunlight, so many amazing benefits to finding movement.
Yeah, so if you're at the beach, you can go for a walk on the beach. You can go into the
Mm-hmm.
pool or the water and go for a little swim. We went to Sedona.
Right? That's going to be number three.
Yeah, our third favorite city that we've been to out west is Sedona, Arizona. So in Sedona, it is known for the red rocks and the hikes. So we
It
went
is
on.
so beautiful. Number three doesn't even justify it, but we've been to so many great places.
Yeah, yeah.
It is so hard. But the Red Rocks, you guys, are incredible. Take your breath away.
Yeah, definitely. If you're a fan of mountains or hiking, Sedona, Arizona is probably the premier spot to go, with the hikes and just the scenery that you can see when you get up to the top of some of these hikes that we did. Really, I mean, we've done hikes around Phoenix, but Sedona
Nothing
itself
like it. Yeah.
a whole different animal.
Yes. So again, being able to be outside, go on these hikes. Again, sometimes you might be getting a little incline, you might be doing things a little more adventurous, get the heart going. We actually went to Sedona with my parents. So it was something that we could all do. All four of us were able to go on hikes, enjoy some, quality time together. Maybe there were times where other people led and some other people lagged behind, but that's the fun of it. You get to go out there, you take it at your own pace. Any of these things we're suggesting, guys, it's not 0 to 100. You find something that works for you. I think another important thing to kind of bring into the Sedona aspect and being outside is something we've talked about a few times in this podcast, which is considered grounding, where you are essentially transferring ions with the earth, whether it's the sand of the beach, water in the ocean, grass, or rock. If you are touching it, you are getting some of those positive benefits, increasing blood flow and circulation. So that's really big with being out in these areas in Sedona, Arizona. You get to really experience that feeling when you are next to this red rock.
Definitely. So for Sedona, I would say the top place that I saw when I was there was Devil's Bridge. About a 4 mile hike. Pretty long at the beginning, and then at the end it's kind
A
of
little
higher up.
steep, yeah.
But Devil's Bridge was amazing. It's basically a bridge made out of rock, and it from the looks of it, from the angle, it's pretty narrow. But
Yeah.
Courtney went out there,
It
and
wasn't that bad. It
yeah,
was
it said it
once
wasn't
you're
that
out
bad.
there, it really wasn't that bad. Looking out, you're like,
Yeah,
oh,
I was
looks a little
planning to go
narrow.
out there, but then I kind of tweaked my back a little
Oh,
bit, so
yep, yep.
I didn't want to go out on the scary Devil's Bridge. That
Right.
was with all the rocks and stuff. But no, I mean it was definitely a sight to see. It was amazing.
It was amazing. And then probably my favorite one would be Cathedral Rock. It was beautiful. I think you really don't understand sometimes going into these hikes. We were just like, oh, it's, you know, 2 miles round trip. We got this, not that bad elevation. But there's parts of it where we were climbing hand over foot up, and then you get to the top, and it is just, you're like in a canyon kind of feeling almost, overlooking all these trees and rock formation. It was so beautiful.
Yeah, no, it was amazing.
And again, we're finding time during these hikes to kind of sit, rest, reflect, take in where we are. We're not
Yeah.
just running up and running down for a workout. We are making it a full experience.
No, the best part of the hike for me is when you get to the top and you can just chill for 15, 20 minutes and just take it all in. I mean, you just worked hard to get up there, and now you're up at the very top, 3,000, 4,000 feet elevation, and you can just look out and see all the trees, all the cacti, all the other mountains, and it's just honestly, it's you can definitely feel, like the grounding you talked about.
Yes,
You can kind of feel that
positive
the
energy.
energy. Yeah, definitely.
So, number three on tips to implement when you're on vacation is going to be finding some healthy foods, some
Yeah, diet
health,
is big.
yeah, some healthy options. We understand we're on vacation. We might want to cut loose a little bit. Hey, we all do it, right? But again, trying to find that overall balance. If we are continuing to put not great food in our bodies while we're on vacation, we're unfortunately weakening our immune system.
Yeah.
And then again, as we get home, we get back to the stress of everyday life. Boom, getting sick is so much
And
easier.
that's the thing. When you're on vacation, you're having a good time. You're with friends. You're with family. You're with your significant other, and you're not gonna realize it when you're on vacation. You can
Right,
eat whatever you
exactly.
want. You can drink beers and have a great time, and it's just constant. You're day after day doing that on vacation. You're gonna still feel pretty good. It's the fact that when you get home or when you finally settle down or get back to reality, get back to work, whatever the case may be, when you're really going to feel it. And that's where those little changes, like Courtney said, maybe just trying to make go to a healthier restaurant for lunch or a healthier
Right,
restaurant for
exactly.
dinner.
We're not saying you have to cook every meal in or you have to, do all these crazy things, but when you're looking for places to eat, can you pre-look at the menu? Can you see if maybe they have a few better, healthier options?
Yeah. A big thing that we like is sushi. Sushi is pretty healthy. I mean,
Right,
you get the
overall.
omega threes, the rice, the vegetables within the sushi. I do want to give a shout out our favorite lunch spot, Kava.
Yes.
Kava is kind of a new concept. It's a Mediterranean lunch, so it's kind of like a Chipotle with the
More
Mediterranean, the hummus,
Mediterranean
the
vibe.
rice, the chicken. So if you're looking for a lunch spot that's healthy, definitely check out Kava.
Yes. So when we are out on these trips, we're always trying to find some of these better, healthier options. That's going to bring us to our second top spot on the West Coast over here.
Barely beat out Sedona.
I know
Close race.
it was close. It's going to be Flagstaff, Arizona. It's beautiful. It's higher up in the mountains, so you kind of have Phoenix, and then you have Sedona, and then you have Flagstaff. They have a mountain out there, 14,000 feet elevation. In the wintertime, there is skiing out there, and it is like just this little. You don't even feel like you're in the desert. You're not in the desert anymore,
No,
actually,
you're up
but
in the mountains.
you're up in the mountains.
And if you told me, I'm from Pennsylvania, I've been living in Florida, and if you told me that it snows in Arizona, I would have not believed you until I was out here. So Flagstaff actually does get a good amount of snow, and we were able to see snow for Christmas, which was
Yeah, it was
awesome.
amazing.
So that was a really, really cool trip to go to Flagstaff, kind of a small town vibe. Super nice people. Everyone that I've met there was extremely nice, welcoming, just a great, again, energy to the area.
Yes. And while we were there, we were always kind of looking for some of those healthier spots, not, and they don't have to be mom and pop shops. Some of them are healthy chains, and that's perfectly fine. So we were going to a local juicery. It's a chain, and they have great acai bowls, smoothies, a lot of amazing lattes.
Really good wrap. Had a
Yeah,
really good wrap.
wraps, sandwiches. So looking out for some of those things is definitely important when you are on vacation. But at the same time, we one it was cold one night. We were like out doing a scavenger hunt, freezing, and we were like, all right, let's take a little break. Let's go into this random store that happened to have a coffee shop in it. And they were whipping up some of the best oat milk hot chocolate
The best.
ever. And again, we weren't over there being like, oh, how much sugar is in your, chocolate sauce. We were just like, all right, give me the oat milk hot chocolate. It was amazing.
Mhm.
It's all about finding that balance, guys. The most important thing that we can tell you is that you want to make sure you are focusing on your health. But you don't want to focus so much on your health that you're not able to live life. But on the flip side, you don't want to focus so much on life, on having fun, partying, doing all this stuff that your health is suffering. And that's why we wanted to come to you guys with this podcast and give you
Mhm.
all this amazing information so you can find that balance as well.
Preach.
So, again, finding those places wherever you go is going to be so important. I think my favorite thing we did in Flagstaff, I don't know, it's tough between two. I think what surprised you at this one, but was we went sledding. So again, we were there in winter. I'm sure if you go there in summer, it's
Yeah.
a completely different vibe. But we went to a snow park and they had, snow, different types of sledding, tubing, trails, and we got to haul up our tubes to the top and go down, and it was so much fun.
Yeah, I mean, sledding in Arizona, like, definitely
Right,
did
who
not
was
think we were going
doing
to be
that?
able to do that. So, yeah, that was cool. What's the second one?
Walnut Canyon.
Oh, yeah, yeah, that was also really cool to go down all the way to the canyon and see on the sides of the mountains where people used to live thousands and thousands of years ago, carved into the side of the mountain where they used to have the shelter. I mean, to see and learn about history while getting a workout, while being outside, while grounding. I mean, how many benefits
Right,
can I
exactly.
name?
It's like so cool. to get to experience some of these things where, again, it's like maybe you learned about it when you were younger, like how the Native Americans lived, but to actually be able to go to this national park and or state park, I believe, and see these things and walk where these people once walked, and again, while you were walking the trail, it told you a little bit about like this side of the canyon, that side of the canyon. These are some of the animals that live here, and it was just like John said, you were learning, you were moving, you were just getting so many benefits. So it was awesome. And you can find those places wherever you go. You know, we were able to find some of those while we were in Ohio and some of the local trails. You know, when we were at the Niagara Falls, you kind of get that same experience of learning history, but also getting to explore and learn things. So amazing.
Before we get to our number one, I just want to throw out an honorable mention.
Okay.
We didn't really get to talk about Phoenix, Scottsdale area at all. So I'll just talk about a little bit about Phoenix and Scottsdale because even though we live here and we've been here for 6 months, it is a new place and it's out west.
Right, exactly.
So honorable mention to Phoenix, Scottsdale area. We've been here for 6 months. Our favorite, I mean, there's so many hikes that we've done.
Many.
My favorite hike that I have done in Phoenix was the Hidden Valley Trail at South Mountain. So if you're ever in the Phoenix area and you want to do a fun, it's pretty long. It was about 5 miles, I want to say.
So it was about like 3.5, but we got lost.
Yes, Courtney got lost. Courtney got us lost.
Okay, I got us lost once, and then we collaboratively got lost, and I saved us from getting more lost.
Okay. Anyway, so we did get lost. However, so much fun. Once we got up to the top of the mountain, there was literally a valley on the top of the mountain. So it was a valley surrounded by smaller mountains on top.
Yeah.
And basically you just kind of went through these little different kind of crevices and you got to the hidden valley and these little tiny narrow like walkways and it was just passageways. It was so cool. That was probably my favorite. And then we've done Pistowat Peak, we've done Camelback. So which one was your favorite?
Oh, that's so hard. We've done so many and they've all been amazing. I will say probably Camelback. I know it's kind of basic. I feel like everyone is like, yeah, you got to do Camelback Mountain. I think though what was so cool about it to me was, again, like I said, my parents came to Sedona with us. So they were in Phoenix a few days before. And, I was telling my dad, like, Dad, these are some of the easy trails that you can do in the area. So I'm at work on Friday, and my dad texts me. He's like, hiking Camelback Mountain? And I was like, no, he's got to be joking. Like, it's the hardest mountain in the valley, And to see my father be able to accomplish something like that, and then, like I said, a few weeks later for us to do it ourselves and understand its beauty, its power, its, the fun yet also challenge that it brought to us. And to know that, my dad got to experience that as well, I was like, this is pretty cool.
Yeah, definitely. No, Camelback's the hardest mountain in the valley. Pistowat Peak is pretty hard as well, but Camelback's just a little bit steeper, a little bit.
Pistowat's a little bit more like stairs going up, and then Camelback's a little bit more like climbing.
Yeah.
So yeah, lots of fun.
So yeah, honorable mention to Phoenix, Scottsdale area. It's been a great time, and we are heading to Denver, Colorado next, but we'll touch on that a little bit later. So Courtney, let them know number one on the list.
So our number one place that we visited on the West Coast has to be San Diego, California. We had such an amazing time. I think that the 3 tips that we brought to you guys, we were able to implement almost every day in every aspect of that trip. And that's why
we felt so good on it.
Yeah, that's why to us, we felt so amazing. I mean, we got to do some hikes. We got to bike ride. We got to go play sports on the beach. We had some amazing food and healthy drink options. And to say that we burned the candle only one end because then we were in our hotel by 7 o'clock every night, in bed by 8 o'clock, and asleep by 8:30 would be an understatement.
Yeah.
Like, we did so much during the day, and it was so amazing that we probably had some of the best, most restful sleep on that trip
Yeah.
because, our body was like, everything is so great. I want to sleep well so I can wake up tomorrow and do the same thing.
Yeah, and then we would be up at 6 a.m. ready to go. And then we did so much by the time it was the afternoon that we were ready to kind of
Right,
calm down and
exactly.
chill a
Yeah.
little bit. But man, San Diego was great. We stayed on
Yes,
Ocean
Ocean
Beach.
Beach.
So Ocean Beach was nice. The pier was there. But a few things that we did there were the best things that I've ever done. So if you're ever in San Diego, I would 100% check out Torrey Pines hike, Torrey
Yes.
Pines Trail.
It's going to be a state park, I believe.
Torrey Pines State Park. So to go on a hike in and through the mountains while overlooking the water was next level for me because I'm a
Yeah,
big water guy.
incredible.
Definitely miss Tampa and St. Pete with all
Being by the ocean
the beach and the
and
water there. And then with Phoenix being a desert and only being, mountains, there's no water. To put that together and to see that was amazing.
yes, it was so much fun. It was definitely my highlight as well, being able to see this like beautiful water and go through all these hikes. And we actually got to hike all the way down to the beach and then hike back up, and it was just incredible.
What
We
about
spent
this?
like the whole day there pretty much.
What about the seals? Where's that?
So that's La Jolla.
La Jolla that might have been my favorite, to be honest,
Yeah.
because the seals came right up to me and I wasn't afraid at all.
Nope.
Came right up to me, basically gave me a high five. Didn't get it on camera, but basically gave me a high five. That's how cool. There were so many seals in the water where they were just walking onto the beach. You could go down to the beach and literally just hang out by them. It was amazing.
Yes, it was so great. And again, so we did that. We got to, like I say, play basketball right on
Mission Beach.
Mission Beach, thank you. And there are so many volleyball courts.
Literally probably 25 volleyball courts, and every single one of them had a game going on.
It was crazy. It was amazing. It was like heaven for a sand volleyball player. So that was awesome. And then after we played basketball, we just got to chill on the beach and rest, watch the sunset. Again, had some amazing sushi there. Had some, if you guys like kombucha, again, we are big kombucha people. There is the
Tap Shack.
Tap Shack. Amazing.
5 out of
They
5
brew
stars.
their own kombucha. They make lattes.
Amazing coffee. Yep.
Yeah, everything was so great. And it's literally a small shack on like the corner. It was so cool. We got to bike all around Ocean Beach. We got to bike around downtown. We went to the San Diego Farmers Market. We did so much amazing stuff, guys. So, we are here to tell you that there is a balance. You are able to go out on vacation and enjoy things and do fun things and also live a healthy, happy life. It's possible.
Exactly. So we want to hear about where is the favorite place that you have gone, and maybe what do you do on vacations now that you might have not done when you were younger or even a few years ago to kind of make sure that your immune system stays strong. You come home, you're able to kind of go right into that work week and be fine because as a travel physical therapist, travel occupational therapist, we understand how hard it is to stay on that grind and stay healthy and happy and successful throughout your travel experience. So we want to hear from you guys. Where is your favorite place that you've gone? What have you done there? Any cool places maybe on the West Coast? Because we're going to be out here for a little bit longer.
Yeah, we're going to be out here for a little bit longer. So if, especially like Jon kind of mentioned, in Colorado area, we're hoping to go to Grand Canyon, Zion. If you guys have any tips for those things, please comment below, reach out to us. Like I keep saying, this is a community. We want to hear from you guys as much as you guys want to hear from us. So thank you so much for tuning in. Again, share this episode with someone you feel like could benefit from this information on how to live that balanced, healthy lifestyle on vacation.
All right. See ya.